Hey, Shalom Yasharala, which means peace, Israel. I'd like to start off by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakodash. Yahweh is the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, our higher. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, or Yeshaya. And the Rahakodash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. I would like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who I've learned the truth of the Bible from. Peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, and to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Much love and respect unto you, brothers, pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives and freedom now more so than ever. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai continue to bless you in your households. I'm the brother Iwan, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing is edifying to the Lord's elect. And today, I just want to touch on the dangers of trusting in ourselves and the importance in trusting in the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And what prompted me to do this lesson besides the spirit is the conversation I was having with some of my homeboys in the world. I sent them some information this morning on what's going on out in the world. And one of them tells me, he was like, did you forget what I used to do? And then I work from home. I was seeing the videos on, how ICE is going to people's houses and, snatch them out their houses. And, homeboy of mine used to be in the military or whatever. So he has that military training and all that, but, even still, who's to say that, you'll be around your family during that time? Or who's to say that, we'll use anything that, we've been training for, moves, okay? Shit, even people that got bug out bags, all right? Who's to say that you're going to be able to make it to your bug out bag during that time? You're doing all this prepping for no reason. Ultimately, we don't know what's going to happen. That's why it's important to trust in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We want to touch on a few precepts, okay? First precept, oldie but goodie, everybody should know this. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So this clearly warns against relying on our own wisdom and understanding, urging us to lean fully on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? In this scripture, also cuts the independent mindset that the world pushes. Believe in yourself. Follow your heart. That's pride. The Most High Yahweh is the one who directs a man's steps, not us. Okay, so trusting your own logic is dangerous because man is subject to vanity. And also, too, the mind or your heart is desperately wicked. Your mind will literally play tricks on you. Okay? So, emphasizing the fact that the elect will fully submit their reasoning to the will of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, not emotions or personal plans. Right? Because, like I said, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is the one who directs man's step. Okay, man's goings are of the Lord. How then shall a man understand his own way? Okay, and You be sitting here planning events or planning stuff with people, okay, and then your how about Shem Shai put it on them person to switch up on you. That's why you can't just depend on yourself or others. You gotta fully submit to Yahweh Shem Shai. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart, mind, departed from the Lord. Bear with me a second, Baba Kashah. All right, Jeremiah 17:5. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh. For he shall be like the heath, is like a bush in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places of the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. But blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, whose hope Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So pretty much those that trust in themselves or in man are in a pitiful case. But those that trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they good, man. Okay, trusting in ourselves, the flesh, causes us to depart from the Lord, while trusting in him brings blessings. And that's true. Okay. We can't trust in ourselves. We can't trust in Esau's system. And we can't trust in other people, because it's only going to lead to destruction. Okay. Especially in these last days. Many will trust in the government. Many will trust in Esau's miracles. Many will trust in the chip or their own smarts. And that's going to be to their own demise, man. Thinking you got it on your own. All right. But the elect will trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Flesh represents your own carnal abilities, which can't deliver you in the day of trouble. Right. There's nothing we can do. All right. Why do you think Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai called us worms in Jeremiah Jeremiah chapter 41? Okay, a worm can't defend itself. The worm ain't got no arms, no legs, nothing, no teeth, no claws, nothing to defend itself. And that's us in the land of our captivity. Okay, yeah, some of us may have guns or weapons. Okay, but Esau got bigger guns and weapons. Okay, we can't defeat him with his blessing. Okay. So don't think your money, guns, connections, or street smarts can save you. Only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai can deliver. Trust him and his prophecies. Psalms 37:5. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. So we must commit our plans unto him and not our own power, because it's gonna blow up in your face. Every time it's going to blow up in your face. All right, next one. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. So how do you walk wisely? By trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The opposite of trusting in your own heart. Okay? So this is a direct rebuke. Trusting in your own heart is foolishness. And that's 144% correct, man. Okay. A man's mind is desperately wicked, like Jeremiah 17:9, like I've been quoting. Trusting in your own heart leads to pride, sin, and ultimately destruction. And we know pride is when one departed from his maker, according to a book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. This is why the world pushes follow your heart, because it leads people away from Yahweh's order. Oh man, and that's heavy, man. That's heavy. You examine your thoughts by the scriptures. If your heart says one thing but the word says another, you follow the word, man. Point blank period. And that should be self-explanatory. Okay, because as Israelites, we wasn't given, we was given, orders. We was given statutes and laws. These other nations didn't. And we're supposed to be the representatives of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai on the earth. And that's why we're in this predicament now. Because we wanted to be like the other nations. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And symbolically, this represents depending on worldly strength or your own resources instead of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, which is true. And like I'm going to keep saying, sound like a broken record, we can't do shit on our own, man. Excuse my French. Okay? And we know that Egypt is symbolic of America, Babylon the Great. So people trusting in Esau's system, the government programs, medicine, military, banks, are trusting in horses and chariots. That's carnal power. And it can't do nothing for you, because then what are you going to do when the banks collapse? And then you got to get that MOTB. What you going to do during martial law, which is coming down the pipeline? Better trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, because when famine, wars, or Jacob's trouble hit, those who trust in Egypt will be confounded. Salakia, but those who trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai will be protected. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge are going to be the stability, Salakia, of our time. Okay. 2 Corinthians 1:9. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in the Most High, which raiseth the dead. So even the Apostle Paul acknowledged that trusting in ourselves leads to death. Okay. You see, I hope y'all grasping the point and see where I'm going with this, man. Because think about every time you did something on your own and it blew up in your face. And think about every time you put your trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call God, and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus. Okay, it ended up working out for you. So why we must trust in him, Psalms 118:8. It is better to trust the Lord than to put confidence in man. Which is true, man, because man is going to let you down every time, man. Okay? That's why you need to beware of false prophets, celebrities, or the government figures. Man will fail. Only Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is faithful in the time of Jacob's trouble. Those who trusted in man will perish. So follow what the scriptures say, not on popular opinion or what sounds good. Trust in the word of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And also going back on to 2 Corinthians 1:9, okay, is a point I wanted to touch. Okay, we have no power over ourselves. The Most High Yahweh controls life and death. That's why we got to be humble and have a great healthy fear of the Lord, because trusting in ourselves is rebellion. It's rebellion. Okay, and we know that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is power. You can't save yourself from judgment, from missiles, from famine. Only Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, can deliver us. So all our hope and faith must be in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because we're going to fall on our face every time. Psalms 146:3. Put not your trust in princes, nor the son of man, in whom there is no help. Right. All right, because like it said in Psalms 118, all right, man gonna let you down every time. John 15:5. And this is Yahushua speaking. I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. Right? That's why we need Yahushua. He makes it clear without him, we have no real power. And that's true. Okay? Yahushua is the vine, the elect are the branches. Look at every time a branch comes off a tree. What happens to it? It withers and it dies. So that's how our spirit is without Yahushua. Okay, you try to go some other way, you're gonna end up withering and dying out spiritually and probably physically too. Okay, that's why you need to get rid of pride, and you got to totally depend on Yahushua. You must abide in this truth through prayer, studying, and applying this word. Because if you try to do it alone, you'll wither. We need our help, man. We can't do nothing on our own. Psalms 37:7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. All right. We got to be patient in this thing, man. Patient means, it's going to come with some suffering. Okay. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in the way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Just going into this devil, man. Because, he got it. He pretty much got it all in the system. While we scrounging around for crumbs, they got it all, man. They living good, eating they got the best of the best, but they're in their heaven. They're in their kingdom. While we're in our hell, but best believe, Big Brother Yahushua is on his way to come deliver us. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. So not through ourselves, but through the strength of Yahushua. Okay? Because Yahushua is our power. And, Yahushua, that's really our spiritual power. Trusting and having faith in him is not pride. Our strength is not from the flesh. It's through Yahushua. That's why faith is essential. When it gets hard, don't say, I got this. Say, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua got me. Okay? Let's go hit this. Let's get this James 4:13. James chapter 4, verse 13. Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city, and continue there a year, and buy and sell, and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanishes away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. Right. This humble us to depend on the Lord's will and not our plans, right? Because normally when you plan stuff, what happens? It never goes the way you plan it, because that's showing, and that's really how Bashim Shah showing us we ain't got no control. We have no control. Okay? We are not in control. Yahweh's will is absolute. That's why brothers, you'll often hear, us, the apostles, the elders, say Lord's will or Abaratazah when making plans, because our life isn't ours, it's his. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is in control. So always acknowledge Yahweh in your plans. Don't boast about tomorrow, because tomorrow isn't promised. So what we need to do is submit everything to his will. Okay? So trusting in yourself is pride, and pride leads to destruction. Trusting in Esau's system or other men is a curse. Faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the only thing that will deliver the elect in the day of Jacob's trouble. And a man of the Lord leans on the word, not his feelings or his own understanding. And everything we do must be under the Lord's will, man. So remember, it's dangerous for us to trust in ourselves, but it's important and essential to trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I pray and hope the edification was made, giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect and to you believers and listeners out there. Shalom.